Hi, welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Living Purposely on Purpose. I am so glad that you're here and you're about to listen to a beautiful young lady. Her name is Carmen B, and I met her online. And since I spoke to her that first day, I was like, oh, you have to be on the pod because you have an amazing story. So let me just give a short introduction to who Carmen is. Coach Carmen B is a passionate advocate for mental health, holistic wellness, and women's empowerment. As a mom, grandma, and leadership coach, she understands the challenges of balancing high performance with personal well being. That's why she's on a mission to ensure women never have to choose between their health and their goals. At the heart of Carmen's work is helping women to build lifestyle systems that align with their personal and professional ambitions so they can reclaim their energy, lead with confidence, and achieve success without burnout. Now, who doesn't want that? Through coaching, workshops, and speaking engagements, she equips women with the tools to set boundaries, break free from limiting beliefs, and create a fulfilling, sustainable lifestyle. I knew why I liked this woman. I knew why I liked her. This is it. Fueled by her own journey of overcoming burnout, Carmen founded Healthy Energy Actively Living. Acronym is HEAL. To redefine success, not as a sacrifice, but as building a life you don't need a break from. You don't need a break from. Now, who doesn't want that? I am so excited to bring her to the stage. I see that she's backstage now, and I'm going to bring her up, and she's going to give us her amazing story. I cannot wait for her to share.
Hey,
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Living Purposely on Purpose. I am so excited to have you on. From
thank
our
you for having me.
session, I just felt like a connection with your spirit. I felt like this lady is amazing. She needs to be on the pod. You are just the type of person when I was thinking of creating this podcast that I
Yes.
envisioned being here.
Well, nothing happens on accident, right? We're
Exactly.
all in the right place at the right time, making the right decisions when we're supposed to make them. So we were connected at the right time just for this. And I'm incredibly grateful to be here and to be a part of it.
Amen. Thank you. I appreciate it. So I just read your short bio to the audience, so they kind of already know a lot about your professional background and things.
Yes.
And I appreciate all of that. I just want you to, we get a little bit intimate here on the pod, right? We get deep, we get intimate, we share the stories that, people can get some understanding and grow from. And you're
Yes.
just the type of person that I needed to be here. So please do us a favor, do me a favor, and share more about Carmen.
Sorry, you all. My camera is, let me tell you something. Usually my camera is like on point, and today is like, listen, if
Oh
you
yeah,
know
you're
what?
frozen.
What?
You're good now. You're good now. You were frozen.
Let me tell you something. When something could go wrong, it would go wrong. But we know that the devil is a liar. Okay.
Yes, he
And
is.
he does not take up any space here because we're gonna do what we came to do. Okay.
He
But
is. You're going in and out. There's some technical stuff. You're frozen now completely. Um, let's see. Maybe you
can
gotta
you hear me?
move the antenna or something around. Sometime that, like I find like the Wi-Fi better.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
Am
I
I
think
frozen now?
I don't know if I lost you. I can't see or hear you. I see you,
What?
but you're frozen. But now I can't hear anything.
This is bad. Can you hear me now?
And you were just so, it was working so great before when my volume was out. I don't know. Carmen?
Yeah, I'm here. Let me see.
Okay, now. Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can see you. You're not frozen. I think we're good.
Let me tell you. You know
So
what?
that
It's,
just tells me this is going to be a great episode.
it's going to be a great episode. We got
Yeah.
this, right?
because when the devil try to come in like that, it's because someone needs to hear this message, and we're
That's
not.
right. He doesn't want it to be shared, but we will be obedient and move
Amen.
forward with what we have been called to do. So that's what we're here
Amen.
for. Now you asked me a question, and because we had all this going on, girl, it went straight out my head.
I asked you if I said we get more intimate on this pod. We try
Yes.
to share stuff that can enlighten and uplift others. So I want you to share who Carmen is. How did Carmen
Yes.
become Carmen? And I watched your TEDx video. Okay. I watched it like 3 times. I was
Oh,
so impressed.
thank
Yes.
you. Thank
Yeah.
you. I'm so grateful for that. So, I was born and raised here in Boston, Massachusetts. Um, come from an immigrant family who migrated from Honduras, and of course, to have a great life here. But as we know, you can change your environment, but if you don't change your mindset, right? Wherever you go, the same things will continue to follow, right? And so sometimes we think when we move, life is going to be better. But if we haven't changed the way we do things, the way we think about things, our strategies, our systems, the people we spend our time and energy with, our life remains the same. So growing up in a Hispanic family, I was really raised to be a servant, right? And I believe that we all are servants, but
Yes.
there's a difference between being a servant and being a slave. Let me tell you that. Let me tell you
Girl,
that right now.
preach.
So being raised in a family where you're taught to give and
Yes.
give
Mhm.
and give and then give some more until you are completely depleted. And then once you have no more to give, find somewhere to get it from to give it, right? And never really being taught how to fill my own cup, how to show up for myself, how to put myself first, how to choose myself. And also believing that my value, my worthiness, my ability to be loved, liked, all of the things came from what I have to offer, right?
Yeah.
What I have to give to the world. And those things I was trained, right? We many of us were, as women, period, we're trained, right? We're conditioned to give until you have nothing left to give. And I think
Yeah.
a major turning point in my life was when I got pregnant at the age of 13. And already having this mindset of who I am depends on what I have to offer. Getting pregnant at 13 and being told that now your value has decreased,
Yeah.
right? You are worthless. Like you really are nothing. Put me in overdrive,
Yeah.
right? It put me in overdrive to prove my worth, to
Yeah.
prove how much I can do, how smart I am, how worthy I am, all of the things. And that
Yeah.
continuous giving, I would say, I don't even want to say led to burnt out because I feel like I kind of even started life in burnout.
Mm.
Right? Uh,
Yes.
I feel like I started there
Yeah.
because I was taught to be a giving little girl,
Yeah.
right? And so while so many of us women, especially for us women of color, we grow up, we believe that we have to do all these things to be seen as successful women, as valuable women, as the new buzzword, the high value woman. And
Yes.
let me just say this before I go any further. There's no such thing as a high value woman. You are valuable, period.
Period. Period.
Right?
Yeah.
Period. From the day of birth, from the day of conception, you
Yes.
were already at
Oh,
high value, right? But now the world has taught us to work hard to achieve this level of value that they have said is
yes.
valuable.
Yes.
And it's unattainable, but it doesn't stop us from working towards it. And because this thought process and these systems of becoming a high value woman are given to us at such an early age, most of us already begin in burnout. Most of us are kind of at burnout before we even enter adulthood, right? Before we have the opportunity to really discover our purpose and live out our God-given purpose, we are already burnt out. So sometimes you're already too tired to even do what you've been called to do because we got burnt out so early.
Yeah.
And that was my story, right? Like constantly searching for fulfillment,
Yeah.
constantly searching for joy, searching for peace and happiness, searching for love,
Yeah.
right? And that search caused me to look in all the wrong places. I got all these degrees. I didn't need these degrees, right? I didn't need half of these degrees, but I invested so much in my education just to show and prove my worthiness, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we're taught. You have to do all these things. Go to school, go to college, get a man, get married, have kids. Like these are the things that we're
Yeah.
told to do. So
Everything outside of us.
everything
Outside.
outside of you, search all the things that will make you happy are in the world,
Yeah.
right? That's what we're taught.
Opposite.
And it's
Opposite
the
of
truth.
what we actually
What
know.
is the truth, right?
Yeah.
The total
Opposite of the
opposite.
actual truth. Right.
Absolutely, right? And that was me, sis. Like I spent my whole life trying to achieve fulfillment and happiness.
Mm, yeah.
And I don't even want to say it was when I got to burnout that my life had a shift, but it was when I was at my rock bottom,
Yeah. What did
right?
rock bottom look like?
Rock bottom for me looked like suicide, right? Rock bottom looked for me like, you know what? I've done all the things. I've done all the things that I was told would make me worthy, would make me valuable, and I'm still not there, right?
Yeah.
And I've achieved all the goals. I got all the degrees. I got the great jobs. I've climbed the career ladder. I bought the house. I got the car. I raised the kids. I did all the things. Why am I still so miserable?
Mercy.
Right? So miserable. But
Yes.
and then I was in one of the most toxic relationships of
Ah,
my life. But that relationship also made me feel like, man, I'm doing all these things for this man in this relationship. I'm being the best woman I can possibly be, on top of being a mom, on top of being an employee, on top of being all the things for the people in the world. And he doesn't see me. What is the purpose of me being here? But I also know that what I had to learn as I was when I was at that rock bottom was that was where I needed to be.
mm-hmm.
Because for me, sis, it was in my rock bottom where I met God,
Amen.
right? It was in my rock bottom that God said, I was waiting for you to get here. You know, I wasn't trying to hurt you, but I was trying to bring you
Yes.
to your knees so you can see where your food really is, where the things that are going to fill you really reside, right? Like where you're going to get that full cup is down here with me, right? And
Yes.
so that taught me that all the things that we go through in life, sometimes we feel like, we're going through these things because we're not worthy. God doesn't love me. I've been forgotten. Maybe this is just the life I'm
Yeah.
supposed to live. But that was really a preparation season for me, right? Like
Yeah.
that season of my life, and it was many years, right? Because sometimes when we say, oh, it's a season, we think, oh, okay, the season, 3 months. No, boo. It was many years,
Yeah.
right? But that season of my life prepared me for everything that I'm doing today, for everything that I am today, for all the lives that I impact today as a coach. It was that season of my life that brought me here. So today, all the things that felt so painful,
Yeah.
I am so grateful for,
Yes.
right? So grateful for because God showed me that you're never going to find joy
Yeah.
in the world.
Yeah.
Right? You're never going to find joy in the world because the truth is joy is already inside of us.
That's right.
Right? Joy is already available to us.
Yes. Yes.
Peace is already available to us. But if we can slow down enough to access what we've already been blessed with, we can stop searching.
Yeah.
We can find rest. We can find peace. We can find the joy, even in the midst of our storms.
Yes.
Right? Even in the midst of our storms. And so
Absolutely.
I would never tell lies that I don't get overwhelmed. I don't get frustrated. I don't get tired. I get all of those things because
Of
just like
course.
you, I am human.
Correct.
But I know when it's time to give and when it's time to retreat.
Yeah.
Right? And having tools is so necessary.
Important.
Right? Learning the tools. So how do we learn the tools? You get with a coach, right? You get in the Bible, you get in church. These are the things that I began learning. You have to do something different. So like I said in the beginning of the podcast is, it doesn't matter what you do, change of environment, get the degrees, all the things. If you haven't changed your mindset and the way you do things,
Yes.
you will continue to get the same results. Right?
Yes.
What do we say? A person that's doing the same thing over and
and
over again,
It's
hoping
crazy.
for different results, is insanity.
Yes.
It's insanity.
Yes.
So I can say, go ahead.
I always say, wherever you go, there you are. Wherever you go,
Yeah.
there you are. So if you're already miserable, you can't change
It doesn't matter.
environments.
A new
Changing
relationship?
environments doesn't help. You got to
Nope.
change here.
That's
You got to
right.
change the mindset.
That's
You
right.
got to, if you don't change that, and if you don't develop the right tools and know how to deal with it, you're going to be going to a great, amazing place, beautiful environment. But after a day or two, you're back to where you started.
You're back to where you started because you're still operating in the same mindset, right?
Yes.
But then, so now when I think about making that shift and learning the true meaning of self-love, right? In those days, prior me, that still lives dormant within me because she's still there, right? And she tests me daily. But she thought self-love was getting cute, right? I love myself, so I get cute, and I get my nails done, and I go out, and I love myself because I look good, right? I love myself because I got the degrees. Of course, I love myself. Look at all these things I'm doing.
Yeah.
But learning that self-love is actually sacrifice, right? The true meaning of self-love is sacrifice. Self-love is not pretty, right? It's not all the things that you see on TV. But it's making really hard decisions to say, I'm walking away from this relationship, right? I'm walking away from this job, right? I'm going to stop drinking. I'm going to stop smoking, right? I'm going to stop allowing people to use my body, right?
Yes.
I'm going to stop doing things to make people love me and like me. And it's those things that help you to strengthen the love and admiration that you have for yourself.
That's right.
And that was a hard lesson to learn.
Yeah.
For me, right? But doing those things shifted my mindset. It shifted the way I thought about myself, the way I treated myself, and allowed me to manifest what God actually wants from me.
Right?
Because when I started walking in a place of love for me, in a place of love for God, everything else was added to me.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean?
Yes, I do.
And when we think about manifestation, people think, oh, manifestation is just saying, I will be this and I will have this. And That is not manifestation,
No.
right? Manifestation starts with taking the steps. Manifestation starts with making really hard decisions,
Decisions.
right?
Yes.
And having the faith that I can do this and I don't have to do it in my own strength,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I know for me, God is with me in everything that I do,
Oh, amen. Yes.
right? And we
Agreed.
know that faith without works is dead,
Absolutely.
right? So faith and fear cannot live
Coincide.
together.
That's
No,
right.
they
Yes.
can't live together. They can't coexist. So if you say, I believe, right? Because the number one killer of dreams is unbelief. That's period. So if you say, I believe in me and myself, I believe in
Mm-hmm.
what God has to do for me, has what God will do for me, your faith can overpower the fear. Now, I'm not saying fear won't be there, but fear has to go when faith is up front,
That's right.
when belief is at the front, right? And if you say, hey, my faith isn't strong enough, because guess what? Sometimes it takes a lot, right, to get there. Just
Mhm.
bring the fear with you and go anyway,
Anyway.
right?
Anyway. Yes.
You know what I tell my clients? You know what? If you can't release the fear, put the fear in the passenger seat. You get in the driver's seat and tell fear, strap on your seatbelt because
Yeah.
it's about to be a bumpy ride. We are going through, shaking, uncertain. We are going through, and you will see that everything that you want, everything you desire, everything you know you deserve, everything you dream of is on the other side of those things that you are afraid to do,
Yes.
right?
Everything.
So
Everything.
recovering from burnout required me to step out of my comfort zone and do some things that were really scary. We think recovering from burnout means, oh, just, you just need a vacation. You just need some rest. You just need good. No, boo. You have to release the things that's leading you to be in that place,
So,
right? Doing more.
what are some of those things that people would need to release to
Yeah.
get in that space?
Yeah. So one is the people pleasing, right? Doing more for others than you even think about doing for yourself. And this can often be an extreme challenge for moms, right? That's what I
Yeah.
notice is we have moms who are cleaning up their 14-year-old child's bedroom,
Mm,
right? Who are
what does that mean?
doing, well, come on, right? Who are doing things for people who can do it for themselves
Self. Yeah.
in the name of love,
Yeah.
right? In the name of I care about them. But you have to ask yourself, is that love or enablement?
Yes.
Is that love? Or are you trying to prove your love?
Mm.
Because when you
Most of the
take
time, it's that one.
the most of the time it's that one, right? And so one of my tools for assessing is taking a step back and saying to myself, what are my intentions for this decision? That's the tool I'm giving you right now.
Yes.
Ask yourself before you make any decision, what are my intentions? Am I doing this because I have the time, the energy, and because if I don't do it, it's just something bad is going to happen? Or am I doing it because I just want to prove that I care and that I love you? And,
Mm.
I want you to know that I'm always going to be here for you and blah, blah, blah. All
Yeah.
those things, right? And if it's that, then
Yeah.
you have to step back.
Yeah.
Ask yourself, does this align with the vision I have for my life?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because a lot of the things that we're doing
This is so
that
good.
leads
Yeah.
to burnout, people think that you're burnt out because you're doing too much. And the reality is you're burnt out because you're out of alignment. Right? And so, one, assess your intentions. Two, assess your alignment. is that I was working at a job for the past 7 years, and God kept telling me to leave. And I'm like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. But I was unfulfilled, right? And then
Yeah.
when I sat down and really thought about what God was calling me to do, it had nothing to do with where I was at. And leaving my secure job with benefits, 6-figure job was the hardest thing to do, because the first thing that came to mind is, how am I going to pay my mortgage? Right? Quick story. God kept saying, leave. Me and God was we was going back and forth, playing tug of war. And I said, God, I will leave when the time is right.
That's
God
right.
said, the
Yeah.
time is now.
Boom.
I said, God, it's not now. All right. I was being a rebellious daughter. Okay.
Yeah.
I said, the time is not now, because I haven't saved enough money. I'm going to leave at the end of the year. God said, I'm telling you that you would be okay. And I'm like, why do you keep bothering me? Right. So now I've been there 7 years. Everything's fine. Everything that can go bad began to go bad. My best employees quit, back to back to back. And when your employees quit, as the director, you got to take up the slack until
Yes.
you can hire somebody.
Right.
Excuse me, y'all. So now I'm in a place like, wait a minute, this is too much. God said, I told you to leave. I said, hold on, I can't leave them like this. They need me. God said, I need you.
Wow.
One day I get to work, after me and God going back and forth, I get to work. My desk has so many roaches on it. Now, let me tell you something. This is a brand new building. I'm freaking out because God knows how I feel about roaches. Okay. I go to my coworker next door. You got roaches? They're like, oh, absolutely not. Go to next. You got roaches there? I said, oh God, you play too much. I said, call my supervisor. I said, this is my last week. This is my last week. When I left that job, I was still like, what am I going to do? But when I left that job, door after door after door began to open. I did a TEDx. I wrote my book. Well, I'm still writing. I'm in, draft, but wrote my book. I started doing more coaching. All the things that God said, this is what I need you to do. See, you're not going to be happy as long as you're out of alignment. But if you do what I ask you to do, and what I ask you to do is not going to feel good. It's
No.
not going to. It's not going to be. It's not going to be easy, right?
And I just need to slow this down a little bit, because when I tell you that you have said a mouthful and what you have shared will impact so many people who are going through the same
Yes.
exact thing right now, who is having that battle saying, I know I should leave because I feel the spirit telling me it's time to move, it's time
Yeah.
to go, but there's security over here.
There's security.
And I don't know how secure over here is.
That's right.
And you went ahead and you are fighting with him, you are battling with him, but he made the circumstances
So bad.
right that he knew how you felt about that situation. He said, roaches is going to do it. So do we need to wait on God to put us in a place where we're so uncomfortable in order to listen?
I tell you one thing, he ain't gonna stop. He is not gonna stop until you answer the call. Right? Like the phone is gonna keep ringing, and every time it rings, right? And this isn't everything. This is in friendships. This is in business. This is in your job. This is in your relationships. If you are in a place where you're not supposed to be, you will feel the burn until you learn, baby. He will continue to slap that hand. Listen, parents, that's what we do. Until the child does what you ask. Listen, I'm gonna take away your phone. You are on restriction for the week. Nope, you're not getting that. No, you may not go hang with you. You may not do all those things until you do what I asked you to do. So he's just being the father that he is, right? And nobody wants to be disciplined, but you're never too old to be disciplined, right?
That's
To be
right.
redirected.
Yes.
Fear is not a negative emotion.
No, it can be a fuel.
It can, right. And it's a natural part of the human experience,
It is.
right? We all fear new things, but here's the question. Are you more afraid of what can happen if you listen to the call on your life, or more afraid of where you will be this time next year? You're more afraid of being in the same place, of being stressed out, of being depressed, of being anxious, of being unhealthy, right? Because this is also in your health. If
Yeah.
you know that you need to change your diet, if you
Yeah.
know that you need to start moving your body more, and your mind is telling you, just go take a walk. Don't eat that third bag of chips. Don't eat that third slice of pizza. And you ignore it, and then you get the, hey, you got diabetes. Hey, you're
Yes.
obese. Hey, you have high blood pressure. All the things are going to keep coming. They're going to keep coming, and you're going to get sicker and sicker until you listen.
I agree.
This is in everything
Every
you
area.
do,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Every single thing. And so you have to ask yourself, can I love myself enough to do what I'm afraid of?
To make those sacrifices, like you
And
said.
make those sacrifices to do the things that feel so uncomfortable. Because there's no joy in your comfort zone,
None.
right? There's no healing in your comfort zone. I'm telling you, when God gave me the name Heal
Yeah.
for my business, I was like, man, you are clever. Because I didn't come up with that. You
Right.
know, I prayed on it, and I dreamt about it, and he said, there you go. And I
Yeah.
was like, everything is healing.
Yes.
Every decision you make for that vision that you have for your life is healing. Every
Yes.
step you take is a part of your healing. If you want to get healthy, it starts with healing. The first word in healthy is heal. You have to heal to become healthy,
That's right. You know,
right?
it's funny because when you said God gave you that name, it resonates with me because when I thought of my company name, which is Inner Healing Life,
Yeah.
that's exactly what God told me. You know,
Yes.
heal from the inside.
That's
You
right.
have to heal. And it's like it just resonates with me when you say that.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. And healing from the inside, like we were saying earlier, is meaning nothing you do outside of you is going to bring you that healing.
No.
Right. You can go even go into therapy. Therapy won't bring you healing unless you're willing to do the work that the
Yes.
therapist suggests. Going and sitting with someone and having a conversation, that's not the healing.
No.
Right. Going to the therapist, that's not the healing. The healing happens after.
Yeah.
Going to church, sitting through a sermon, that's not the healing. The healing is what you decide to do after, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Praying and talking to God, that's not the healing. It's believing in what you prayed for and the decisions you decide to make after.
And the God that you're praying to.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because God is you're gonna say, God, this is what I need. And he gonna give you what you asked for. And it may not come the way you asked for it.
Yes.
I just want to say this real quick.
Say it.
A blessing is a blessing, even if it doesn't feel good. Even if you
Oh,
don't
trust me.
understand it.
You preaching right now.
Right?
When I went through my cancer diagnosis, I told people cancer never came to kill me. It came to heal me.
Period.
People never understood what I said.
Period. Listen,
Yes.
that's a word. When I think about that toxic, sorry guys, I'm getting over a cold. When
Same
I think
here. It's
about,
something going around.
yeah, everywhere. My grandkids are sick. Everybody's sick. That's why I'm sipping my tea. When I think about the toxic relationship I was in, that kind of was a major contributor to everything else that was going on in my life, that took me all the way to the bottom where I met God. When I say, even though that relationship was painful, like I wouldn't wish it on my enemy. I'm so grateful
Yeah.
for that relationship. I am so grateful because if I had gotten out of that relationship earlier, I would
Yeah.
have just went on to the next place doing the same thing, thinking the same way, not trusting and believing in God. But that
Speaking a
relationship took
word.
me all the way down to the
Yes.
ground. So I was like, that crazy relationship was such a blessing. Was such a blessing, right? And so when we think about blessings, we think it's going to be like, oh God, thank you. No, sometimes that blessing is going to be like, oh my God,
You are speaking my language, girl.
oh my God, right? But
Carmen.
for me and you, Coach Lin, because of the women we are, no matter what happens in our life, we're able to see where the blessing is, where the lesson is, and where the opportunity is. All right.
Yes.
That was the third tool I'm giving y'all, right? I'm now gave you three. The first one is check your intentions.
Yes.
The second one is check your alignment.
Yes.
The third is no matter what happens in your life, recognize the blessing, the lesson, and the opportunity, right? Because there is something available, even when it's a painful experience. There's something in there, right?
Yes.
And if you're able to shift your mindset to say, what is this doing for me? Not what is this doing to me?
Yes.
What is this doing for me right
Yes.
now?
That's right.
And then have the gratitude to say, thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. Right?
Yes.
Well, because
Absolutely.
sometimes there's a blessing, a lesson, and an opportunity. Now, I'll tell you what,
Yes.
no matter what there is, there's always a blessing. But there might be a lesson, there might be an opportunity, either one. There's always a blessing, though. Right? And having that type of gratitude, having that mindset to be able to check your intentions, to be able to check your alignment, to be able to recognize what this is doing for you will bring you so much peace.
So much.
Oh, peace is expensive, sis.
I know.
Man,
Yeah.
peace is expensive.
The good news
But
is we don't have to buy it. It's so
we don't
available
have to buy it
if
because
we
it's
know how to
already
connect.
so available,
Yes.
right?
Ah,
So, I mean, and there's so many more tools. I tell you, there's so many tools. And, with my clients, I tell them, you got to build a toolbox. We've got to build a toolbox. And then when the things come, we open the toolbox. What tools do I need in this moment?
yes.
Right? And having those tools, you'll always be able to find your way towards the fulfillment, right?
Yes.
Fulfillment is what we're all thriving towards. And that fulfillment is being able to feel joy and peace and contentment no matter where you are in this world, no matter what's happening in the world. Being able to say, all is good. All is good,
Yes.
right?
All is good. No matter what the
Yes,
situation, it's all
absolutely.
good. Man,
Absolutely.
oh man. You gave us so many chewing points for us to chew on.
Yeah.
And I love the part that you said that um it's not the praying, it's not the reading the Bible, it's not the going to church. It's what do you do with those things? How do you implement those things?
What do you
And
do?
I know that as a coach, as you are, we know that if someone is not coachable, we can't even do anything with them.
I
And
can't do
it's the
nothing with
same
you.
thing with God. He
That's
cannot
it.
do anything with us unless we allow ourselves to be coachable.
That's
Are we
right.
right?
Listen, I tell
Yes,
you, when God said move and I said no, he was like, all right, you gonna suffer, right? You have to be willing to say yes,
yes,
right? Even when you work with a coach, God blessed us with this gift to coach others closer to him,
Amen.
closer to who they were called to be. Because walking in purpose is walking in God.
Yes.
Right? That's my belief. Walking, and when I pray, I said, thank you, God, for these gifts that
Yes.
you blessed me with to do your work here on earth. Because
Yes.
that's who I'm working for, right?
Yes.
But if you're not willing to say yes, you work with a coach and the coach said, here are the things that you're not even going to say yes, then you have to ask yourself, what do I want? Right? Like, do I really want the joy? Do I really want the peace? Right? Do I really want fulfillment?
Yeah.
And that's because it's available to you. You can have it if you want it. But listen, I tell everybody, we all have a choice. That's what God blessed us with. We all have a choice.
That's
So what
right.
do you want? And what are you willing to do?
Amen. I think you hit the nail on the head. I feel like your life is someone who is living on purpose. Your whole story is about walking in purpose. You
Yes.
have developed yourself in such a way that you can hear when God says to move.
Ooh,
Yes. And that's purpose right there.
ooh.
I am
Listen,
so appreciative of everything you shared.
thank you.
I'm going to be watching this over again for myself.
Because you know that connection is everything, right? Like
Yes.
one of the points my pastor made today in church is one of the enemies of obedience is disconnection,
Yes.
right? And so not having that connection, that phone line, that listen, I'm gonna call God real quick. I'm gonna call God real
Yes.
quick and get on the phone, right? Just like listen, I can call my friends right now. I got a one way, but when you lose that connection and you begin to feel like a leaf blowing in the wind, you don't know if you're coming or going. Developing that deeper connection
Yeah.
to God and to yourself
Yes.
will allow you to begin to hear and see and feel, right? Because being more connected to yourself sharpens your intuition,
Yes.
sharpens your intuition. Let me tell you something. Ain't no, excuse me, nothing worse than a dull intuition,
Yes.
right? Where
Yes.
you know there's something that got to be, but you don't really know, right? Because you can't even trust it because you've lost all connection to even trust yourself, right? To
Yes.
trust yourself, to trust the direction that you're being led towards, to trust what the signs that God is sending, to trust how He's speaking to you through your dreams, through your visions, through your conversations.
Absolutely.
But deepening that connection,
It's everything.
everything.
Everything. Trust me, I have learned to deepen it. So
Deep,
I understand.
and I've had a deep connection, then lost connection. And when I lost connection, I felt it like I lost my connection.
Mm.
You know how we lose connection? When we get busy in the world.
Yes. Oh my God.
When we get
Oh my God.
busy in the world,
And
we
doing the
lose.
world.
Come on.
Come on.
You lose connection in the world,
Come on.
right? And so I said earlier, you have to know when it's time to retreat. There's a time to be in the world and do the things in the world, and then there's a time to retreat. And you have to know when it's time to retreat to keep that cup full
That's
so that
right.
you don't lose that connection.
That's right.
Many of us are feeling lost and unfulfilled because we are not connected,
Oh,
not connected, not aligned,
that's part of
walking
why.
blindly.
I tell you, this is exactly why I wanted to do this podcast, because I wanted to share stories so people can understand how important it is to walk in purpose. But
Oh,
you can't get that alignment just by
nope.
You gotta get it by that connection.
Period. That's the only way. Like, some people are lost, sis. They don't know their purpose because
Yeah.
there's no connection. So what most of us are doing, what I did for many years, is what I was told would make me the most money.
Mm,
What somebody else told me I was good at. What the
yes.
skills that I was taught. Those are the things I did, even though it didn't bring fulfillment. Listen, your skills and your purpose are two different things. Your skills and your gifts are two different things.
Mm,
It's not about what you were taught to do, it was about what you were meant to do. And
that's
you have to figure out what that is. And the only way to do that is to get connected. Tap in, tap in, tap in.
right.
It's the only way.
It's the only way. It's the only way. Now, whew, listen, we talked about so much today.
I know.
And everything I know that you said is going to help someone. And it's, before you go though, I want you to, because after I finished watching your TEDx, I heard your big recipe.
Oh, yeah.
And before you leave, if you could just give us a snippet of what that big recipe is.
Yes.
And then I'm going to tell everyone, after you watch this, you go and watch the entirety of this girl's recipe, because Coach Carmen B has a message that will be so impactful when you hear it.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So, when I talk about the recipes, I kind of alluded to that when we began, when I say, the way we were raised, right?
Yes.
How we were conditioned. Those are the recipes. All the things that most of us as women do in the world are the recipes that were passed down to us from our moms, who received it from their mom, and back and back. And we're taught, like, this is how it's supposed to be done. But walking in power is recognizing that you can create a recipe all on your own.
That's right.
You don't have to do the things the way they've always been done, especially when they're not working, right? Yes. You're mixing the recipe and not getting the food that is filling your belly.
That's right.
Right? You're getting junk and still mixing the same recipes. So when I decided that I would create my own recipe, it's called the Big Recipe.
Yes.
BIIG.
Yes.
And the first ingredient in that recipe is belief.
Yes.
Right? Believing in yourself. Every change that can happen for your life will start with that belief. Believing that you're worthy, believing that you're valuable, not just believing that you're capable. I know you're capable. You know you're capable. And we're talking, believe in your abilities to do. You have to also believe in your worthiness.
That's right.
Right? Also believe in your value. Right? There's belief extends beyond what you can do, but believe in who you are, who you were made to be. Right? Next is investing. We invest in education, right? We invest in people, our friends, our children. But when's the last time you invested in your well-being, right? Investing in your mental health, your spiritual health, your physical health, right? Through that prayer and devotion, the time in nature, exercising, eating the right foods, taking that time off. Some of y'all have built up time off like hoarders, right? Mm-hmm. Because you believe that if you take time off, something's not going to go right. Well, let me tell you this. If they want to fire you, honey, they're not going to think twice about it. Use that time off to invest in the things that are going to fill your soul, that are going to get you back to health and well-being, that's going to keep you healthy and well.
That's
right?
Yes.
Next is intention, which I talked a bit about that earlier. But, when you listen to my talk, you'll learn that my intentions were always aligned with what others wanted from me, what others expected of me. But I shifted that to be more in alignment with what I wanted from myself.
Yes.
With what I felt deep in my heart that God wanted for me. And so, like I said earlier, you have to check your intentions. And what you'll learn, honey, is if it doesn't align you must decline.
Decline.
Okay?
I love that
If
part.
it doesn't align, you must decline. Lastly, it's your gifts. You know, as I said earlier, many of us are operating based on our skills, the things we were taught to do, the things people tell us, you know what, you're really good at that. You're really good at washing dishes. You should be a dishwasher, right? Like we're doing all the things based on the external validation, based
Yes.
on what everyone else will cheer us on for, as opposed to the things that light us up from the inside. Right? There are so many things I can do, but you know what lights me up? Helping another woman find her light. Right? And so you have to ask yourself, what are my gifts? What is the thing that I think about all day that I can do, that I feel called to do, that I know that if I got started, someone else will be blessed, because your gifts are not for you, honey. Your
That's right.
gifts are to bless other people.
That's right.
And when you bless other people, you will automatically be blessed.
That's right.
Period.
Period.
So that is the big recipe: belief, invest, intention, and gifts.
I love
Definitely
it.
go listen to the TEDx. You'll
Definitely.
really get a deeper understanding of the recipe and how it was created and where it came from. But it's a
I'm
recipe
gonna
that,
link it. I'm gonna
okay,
link it to this
awesome.
podcast. Yes.
I eat
Yes.
this recipe every day. I eat this for food every single day.
I could tell you're all lit up every time I
Thank
speak to you. Every
Yes,
time.
thank you. I'm
So
excited. Life is exciting, sis. Despite
that's
the challenges, it's all exciting, and I'm here
yeah.
for
We are gonna have to link up because
it. Oh,
honestly,
girl, you
you're right
cheers.
in my
I'm here
neighborhood
for it.
anyway. Yes, we definitely have to link up because I see a lot going on between us. I see a vision of me and you doing stuff together. I
I
don't
love
know
it.
where it is, but I know it's coming.
I love that vision. I
Yes,
love that vision.
absolutely. So before we wrap up, is there any final thoughts, anything you want to share, or anything that you're doing right now that the people can connect with you or
Sure.
anything? Yes.
Sure. Yeah. Well, they can definitely connect with me on Instagram at Coach Carmen B. I'm in the process, and I will be announcing it soon, creating a community, a group, online community for women to come together and really just, one, support one another, but to receive coaching, to receive the tools, because this is not a journey that you have to walk alone.
Yes.
And I believe that doing it in community, like a lot of people are afraid to do things in community because they believe that, they don't want to be judged. But guess what? We're all here together. We're all going through these challenges together. And so being in a space where your sisters can support you, where you feel your value, where you feel loved, is so important. So I am in the process of developing that. My grandson was born earlier this week, so kind of
Oh
like through my
yes,
schedule. Thank
congratulations.
you. Threw my schedule all off, but I know nothing is by on accident. So I know God, he's probably, shifting my schedule
Yes.
right now but it's gonna happen. So I'll be announcing that on Instagram soon too. So
Okay.
so on Instagram is really where you'll get all of my announcements. You
What's
can
the
also
IG page again?
Coach Carmen B.
Perfect.
Yep.
Okay.
And on LinkedIn, it is Carmen Blyden, MBA.
Okay. Perfect. Well, you guys heard it here. She's amazing. Go check her out. And
Thank you.
listen, I'm going to invite you back on when you finish that book.
Yes.
Yes, we need to hear about that once it's
Yes.
done.
God
You
is
can
working
come
with me.
on. Yes.
I'm
Okay, great.
excited.
Awesome. So it was great seeing you again. And I can't wait
Thank
to
you.
connect with you. And thank you so much for being on the
Yes.
pod.
Thank you
I
for
learned
having
so much
me.
today.
I look forward to speaking to you and your audience again. This was amazing.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye. I think you can. Does it say exit on your end?
Want me to exit studio? Oh, leave studio.
Yes. Awesome. Oh my God, she was amazing. I know that you guys heard a lot today that you can take away, especially from those 3 techniques that she already gave you. Make sure that you keep that alignment, that intention intact, because when you're doing that, you're investing in yourself, right? So, such great takeaways. Listen, go check her out. Check out her TEDx. I'm gonna link it to this. It should be in the description. I'll put the link right there so you guys can check it out. Listen, everything that we spoke about is in alignment with what I believe in. So I am so happy that she was able to join us today. She blessed the pod with her information, her acronyms, all the things that she shared. And I know you guys walked away feeling more blessed and learning something. And that's why